Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name is Johnny Bottles. The man to my left is Dr. Don Wayne. You know him, you love him from Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. My question to all of you out there right now, were you one of the 629,000?
I gotta know.
Gotta
know who's watching this.
We gotta know. Him and I were one of the 629,000.
No, we weren't, because I didn't watch it I didn't watch it today till 5 o'clock, Bottles, and I hit the fast forward button a lot. But that's a little bit farther ahead of the show. We're not going to get there yet.
I was the only one here from 629,000.
You are. Did you take any chair shots when you were younger?
I think I did take one, yeah, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
Phone booked it ahead.
Thank you all for joining.
Crazy shit.
Thank you all for joining. We appreciate the support. We got a lot to talk to about tonight.
Yes.
The world of wrestling news has really taken off this week. There's some crazy shit going on. I can't quite put my finger on the fake outrage that's happening.
Fake outrage.
What's the chick's name that everybody's like, she's on the bench? Is it Mai Tai or Kyrie or?
That would be the lovely Dakota Kai.
Dakota Kai, okay.
Dakota Kai, who I might add, a lot of people thought she was hurt because she's always hurt. She always gets hurt, comes back for 2 months, gets hurt again, comes back for 2 months, gets hurt again. So on and so on. Rinse, repeat.
If you're asking about Pro Wrestling Times, I see it out there. It looks like we're going to do the show Tuesday. It's just been a lot going on, so I think we're doing the show Tuesday.
Yes. We talked to Philip yesterday, and Philip said Tuesday. So Juan, we don't know when you were texting him, but
I don't know that it's going to be a live show first thing. I don't know how it's going to work, so we'll let y'all know when we know. I'll put it out there on Twitter and let everybody know.
Yes.
But I want to talk about Dakota Kai not being used right now.
Dakota Kai.
I don't give a shit. She doesn't move the needle one way or the other. Why do people have this fake outrage over wrestlers that just have no bearing on the show overall? I don't understand it, man.
Do you want to know why? Because Dakota Kai has a select group of simps in the IWC that swoon over her every word on Twitter and her pictures and things like that. A lot of guys in the IWC, the Cheetosexuals, want to have coitus with Dakota Kai in their dreams.
Yeah. Here's an idea, guys. Stop being so weird because you just turn everybody away from your page and no one wants to look at your weird ass. I get hit up every day by some guy with like 10 followers. Oh, yeah? Well, you're a fat old man. Yeah, I know, but at least I'm not a simp, you perv. Get the fuck off the log and do something with your life. You're sitting in your basement wasting away to doing nothingness. You give nothing to society, but that's enough of that. I want to talk about something fun.
We're just
the Raw after WrestleMania. Well, we are. Now I'm done because, again, I don't get it. I don't understand the fake outrage. It's stupid, Bottles. It's because just dumb.
They're looking for shit to pick on because Nick Khan said, we don't hire people just to bench them.
And he doesn't.
Dakota Kai was a damage
control.
She's already hired. She was a damage control with Io Sky and Asuka and Kairi Sane. Well, half of damage control's out hurt. Although Kairi Sane will be coming back very, very shortly. So they wanted to push Io Sky, so why have Dakota Kai there for her? I guess they want to get Io used to doing her talking herself in the interviews.
Well, it's a good call. You've got to be able to cut promos in America if you want to get over. That's what draws the attention. You can wrestle like a champion, but if I don't buy your promo, I'm not buying you. When Bryan Danielson or Daniel Bryan, or whatever you want to call him, was at his peak in the WWE, he was cutting amazing promos.
Yes, he was.
Now, I'm not at the end there. It was just all about his kicks. And I'm not here for that. I can watch people fake kick. I could go pay 2 hobos to fight for $50 to see real kicks. Just saying. I can watch that shit anywhere. Give me something to entertain me. Speaking of entertaining, the Raw after WrestleMania had a moment of 3.6 million average viewers for that show. And that was like the 3-hour show after Mania. That thing ran forever, if you remember.
Right.
That was a long one.
It was.
So that sort of tells me the fan base is still there. They're lurking in the background. They're like me and you, Bottles. We don't have to watch every week because the story doesn't drag. It doesn't move that fast every week.
Right.
You can catch up a lot of shit that you want to watch on the TikToks or the YouTube videos, whatever you want. You can catch up an entire show with everything you need. Now, if you're a diehard that wants to watch every wrestling match known to man, first of all, get some help because you're weird as shit. Second of all, good for you. I'm seriously though, man. If you want to watch every minute of every wrestling show ever, what is wrong with you?
You're dwelling in your basement. If you walked outside and the sunlight hit you, you would burst into flame, just like Count Dracula. Look, it's like I don't watch it live. You know that. Yeah. And then sometimes if I say to myself, I'm going to watch the first hour and I'll catch the rest of it tomorrow morning. And you go on Twitter and right away, you don't even have to watch the show. They're ruining it on Twitter left and right. Clips, rundowns,
highlights, segments,
highlights, all that BS from everybody on Twitter. What are you going to do?
It's like a nervous tick. I got to put this video up for somebody else does. I got to get the likes. I put a video out last week during the NFL draft when Seth Rollins came out, and we haven't talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said, somebody check on Tony Khan. He's probably not doing well. That video got 700,000 views, and I can't even begin to tell you the amount of hundreds of negative comments I got in that thing. Just over me making a simple joke. And people are like, I don't understand the joke. Because his daddy owns a team and he doesn't have the marketing wherewithal to put one of his wrestlers on one of the biggest NFL stages that they have every year. He didn't have that marketing sense to do this. It just cracked me up, man. Like, these people are out there, dude. And I wasn't trying to go viral. It was just a throwaway clip.
Well, look, you can't blame Tony Khan for not doing that because he sent Swerve Strickland, to an NBA game? And nobody knew who the hell he was.
Well, that's true.
They sent MJF to a baseball game, and no one knew who the hell he was.
So send a guy like Edge that they're going to recognize from the WWE and say, here is AEW star Adam Copeland. They'll be like, oh, shit, that's Edge. I know that guy. I'm just saying. So
Edge is having problems, pal. He's he could barely walk around after he wrestles. Have you seen that story?
What now? Oh, yes. No, I did hear about that.
He cut that interview. He says,
that today.
When I wrestle a match, it takes me about a week before I can walk fully upright. Now, you tell me whether this guy really needs to be doing this.
Here's the other part of this. Though. Is he a carny or is he just selling that? Like, that's my other part of this. Now, I can believe it. And the other part of that is that if Edge really can't walk around for a week like a normal person after he has a match, you should probably stop having matches.
Exactly. I mean, you see the way he, when he's in a ring, and he's been wrestling tag matches lately. Back when he was in FTR's good graces. But when he was wrestling tag matches with FTR, he would take a couple moves and just lay there on the corner or on the side. Juan, with AEW ratings falling harder than Shador in draft. Yes.
Thank you for the $2 super chats open. We appreciate it, Juan. Yes, it was a bad night for Mr. Sanders' son. Reality check set in. For those of you that watch football, for those of you that don't, this guy was groomed by all the talking heads to be the second quarterback taken. And he fell to the 5th round. And if you don't know what that is, that's not a good thing, especially if you were that highly talented. So, but we're going to talk some wrestling here for a minute. I thought Monday Night Raw opened up to a very strong showing. Bottles. I'm digging on the new Seth Rollins deal. I'm digging on all of that. I like what I'm seeing out of this. Right. Seth Rollins come out. But here's my issue, Bottles, and I wonder if you're having the same issue I am. Why can't the crowd boo the bad guys anymore, man? Why can't they do that anymore? They got to sing the song. They got to do all the bullshit. Why can't you just boo the bad guys anymore? Thank you again, Juan.
You know how you get those bad guys booed? Rollins and Breaker and Heyman. You know how you get them booed?
I know how to do it.
You stop playing Seth Rollins' song. Have him come out to nothing. Have him come up to a different song.
Have him come out to something. Yeah, exactly. Something completely different. So
yes.
I don't really dig on the whole, we're going to sing the song of the heels. I've never been about that. I think that's terrible. And last Monday night was no different. I even rewent and watched this because I fell asleep trying to watch it Monday night. Fell asleep and woke up to Pat McAfee just losing his shit. Woke up with him screaming like a shot, like, and I tell you, what the hell's going on here, man? Why is Pat McAfee so pissed off at everybody? Turn this off. I'll watch it Monday.
He was a little disturbed. He was a little disturbed. Do you think that? We'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. I enjoyed this, but what really got my attention was when Mickey Zayn came out. And he cut one of the best promos. If there's one thing Mickey Zayn can do, he can cut a hell of a promo. I think he's amazing at that ability. If you don't know who Mickey Zayn is, I'm referring to Sami Zayn. We both say he's trying to become the new Mick Foley, so I'm giving him a new name. He is Mickey Zayn. Yes, that's his new name. But he said, how many times have you ripped on CM Punk and Roman Reigns for what they've done to the business, and you have surrounded yourself with their favorite guy? You were jealous. You wanted to be them. This is what the issue is. You wanted to be them. I thought this was great. I thought what Sami Zayn did in this was absolutely brilliant. It hooked me from the beginning. I liked this segment. It got me thinking, where's possibly Sami Zayn going with this one?
Could it be possibly down the road Sammy aligns himself with those guys?
They're saying right now, from what I've read, and you can only take this as far as it goes, but that there will not be a third man for a while, if at all. Now, I don't buy that for a minute, because you've always got to have a third guy come in.
Fightful said that.
Well, then that definitely means there's a third guy coming soon.
There'll be a third guy coming in. And they may include Seth's wife. Why not?
Warrior JWR, did you guys check out the Dark Side Eddie Gilbert? I did not. I haven't yet. I've got it on my to-watch list. Here's my issue with Dark Side of the Ring, just to stray off of this for a minute. It has not impressed me this season so far. It sort of feels like they're running out of ideas and they're grasping at straws. When it started off where they're talking about the Hell in a Cell match, that was sort of, I was like, okay, you're sort of jumping the shark here. The Hell in a Cell match has been done to death. Right. Everyone knows how that went. And by the way, it wasn't a dark side. It was scary, but I wouldn't call it a dark side. There was nothing ominous about it, just like the Vader story. There was nothing dark side about it. It was a terrible ending to his life is all.
They're just pulling in wayward stories off the periphery of wrestling. It's like, it's not anything that's really, it's nothing like, and this guy should have been a topic of the Dark Side of the Ring test.
Yeah, he really should have been. That guy's downfall was terrible.
Yeah, terrible. Died sitting upright in a chair, all messed up on painkillers. He just got addicted.
And by the way, I don't know about you, I was a big fan of Test. I thought he could work in the ring. He had great size. I thought he had good charisma. He could cut a promo. It just seemed like he was on the outs with Vince from the very beginning. He just wasn't big on the guy. I mean, he got a push, and then it just sort of was like, okay, we're done with him now. Thank you again for your JWR. I am going to watch the Eddie show. That's definitely on my list. The last couple, I just haven't really cared to really go out of my way to watch.
You know why? You know why Vince wasn't big on Andrew Test Martin? Because his girlfriend at the time in real life was Stacy Keibler.
I did not.
Everybody in that company wanted to bang Stacy Keibler.
Easy, cowboy.
Easy. Mr. Yellow
Flag.
Flag on her face.
I said easy. Here we go again. Roxanne versus Rhea. Julie interferes and Io Sky runs in. This is the same thing we saw last week, just sort of reversed. I didn't hate it. It's just I'm not going to sit here and go over a 30-minute or 15-minute match in depth when I pretty much saw the same thing I saw a week ago. Rhea Ripley got the win. By the way, they're saying this is just me now. By the way, thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit that notifications button. Super chat is open. Here's my question. Are they calling these NXT girls up or not? Because all I keep hearing is that they're not going to do it. And these two girls look the part. They look like they're ready. And I'm ready for some new blood in this women's division. I really am.
What they're doing right now is they're testing the waters, checking the temperature to see how well they're going to be received. You've got two that are really, really good in the ring, Julia and Stephanie Vacker.
And we saw a third one later. Yeah.
Yeah. The English is a little sketchy on Julia. Stephanie Vacker, she's soft-spoken, but she can get by. She even did an interview with Bubba Ray Dudley on his Busted Open After Dark show. And she accommodated herself magnificently. I thought she...
Did she?
Yeah, well, she was fantastic. Yeah, she was fantastic. Very soft-spoken. Oh, I don't know about that. You know how some people are a little shaky in the English language.
What was his name? Shit. The big guy that went to NXT that just disappeared. He talked like he was a Shakespearean.
The big guy went to NXT and disappeared.
Yeah, that went to AEW from NXT.
Keith Lee.
Keith Lee, yes.
Indubitably, he would say.
Why talk like an asshole?
Vince hated that. Vince hated that.
I can see that conversation going on now. So we want you to cut a promo. When I come in the ring and wipe my feet upon your brow, get this fucking guy out of here.
Don't have him talk. They wanted... You remember what the plan was. They wanted Adam Cole to be the manager.
Yes.
Of Keith Bearcat Lee. Bearcat.
Well, they need to bring back the Bearcat nickname. That was great. I miss nicknames, man. You don't have a lot of nicknames anymore in wrestling, right? You just don't.
No, you don't.
Randy Orton's got the best one I can think of, the Viper.
Legend Killer. The Viper had
Legend
2.
Killer. He's got a million of them. Yeah. So
yes.
anyway, Judgment Day goes ahead and
Keith Lee.
celebrates the return of Jughead.
I got a little news on Keith Lee.
Well,
Do you want to know what?
Save it.
Why?
Because I'm talking about Jughead.
We were just talking about Keith Lee. You can't rewind 30 seconds? Let me hit that button again. Now,
what is the news on Keith Lee?
Keith Lee, when he got COVID, he was jacked up badly from COVID. His lungs and his heart were inflamed. He had a bag of fluid around his heart that got inflamed. And that's why, in fact, that's why he's off TV now in AEW. That's what I was told. That's what I saw.
I haven't heard that, but again,
they told me. But I saw.
Like I said, Judgment Day celebrated the return of Jughead. I'm glad to see him back. I think he's growing on me like moss. I don't know why, but I'm starting to like this guy more and more.
He's a tough little bastard, pal.
He is a tough little bastard. I'll give him that.
Because he did
some
ribs.
shit that, yeah, we're going to talk about some of the shit he did in that match later. For everybody who doesn't know who Jughead is, please tell them.
Jughead D. Madonna. J.D. Madonna.
J.D. Drew.
J.D. stands for Jughead Dome.
It's a big sumbitch, man.
He's got, you could show a movie on that forehead.
Anyway, Logan Paul comes out next. He's got a promo. Jey Uso comes out and super kicks him and leaves. Logan Paul's a good heel. I'm sorry, man. I'm not getting on this Jey Uso train. I'm just not going to be that guy. He's going to have to win me over. He's going to have to do something that wins me over. No, he doesn't win.
Does Logan Paul beat Jey Uso?
If he does, it'll be a DQ win, but he's not going to win straight up. It's too early to take the strap off of him.
Logan Paul's saying now that he's not a YouTuber anymore. He's 100% into wrestling. That's what he claims. Sure he is. That's what he says.
Sure. He's not giving up that YouTube money to come into the WWE to earn about a little bit less, actually.
Who are you to doubt Logan Paul and El Dandy?
Is Bret Hart in the chat now? Is that where we're going with this show? Denisha, thank you so much.
Thank you, Denisha. Hey, Don and Bottles, just showing some love, y'all. Raw SmackDown was good, and wrestlers need breaks, and people get serious freak out. And starting there in bench, oh my God, get a life. Y'all stop. Yeah, they always talk about having off seasons for wrestlers.
Right, no, I agree.
Recover and do whatever. I think maybe Triple H is just, Dakota Kai can bitch all she wants to about how she's not being used on television. And so can her orange-fingered fan base. But when she's resting her body, she can come back like a chip. It's not like she's not getting paid, people.
Right.
She's getting paid. When they're not on TV, believe it or not, they're still collecting that check. Just see,
here's my thing.
If you need further confirmation of that, call half of AEW up. Get their numbers and call them up.
Here's my point on this.
Yes.
I firmly believe, I truly, honest to God believe, that the WWE needs to take some of these guys off TV for 3 and 4 months to give the fans a break as well from them. When you start to feel like that ebb and flow sort of not getting to where it used to be, pull them back and push somebody else and see how it goes, and then bring them back in 3 or 4 months. That's just sort of where I've always been. Right. Randy Orton has not been hurt by this at all, by the way. If anything, it's helped him. But I know it's been injury related, but when he came back, the roof flew off. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. So, again, I liked it. It wasn't great. I'm not going to get on that fan base. Out next, we have a brown note come over the speakers, and out come the War Raiders. So everybody shit their pants, is what I'm saying. The opening of that song is brown note. I don't care what anybody says. These are South Park fans that said, play the brown note. I don't care. Did you notice it when they came out Monday night? Because that's the first thing I noticed.
I didn't notice that, but
anyway,
generally when I see the War Raiders come out of my TV, I go and get another beer. It's a good time to go get a drink and then come back.
Anyway, they come out. The New Day's back by them, blah, blah, blah. Brown note wins. No one gives a shit. Moving on with life.
You know, speaking of the War Raiders, the bald one, I forgot his name. Eric?
Did you say the bald woman? Oh, okay.
The bald one. Eric, I believe his name is. He's did an interview with Chris Van Vliet, whatever his last name is. And he said that when Vince was in power, and they changed the name of the faction to the Viking Experience. He walked up to Triple H backstage and said, hey, brother, let me ask you a quick question.
I got to hear this.
Is this a rib? Viking experience? Is this a rib? And Triple H goes, oh, I wish it was.
There at the end, the old man lost it. That's all I can say.
He just lost his mind, shitting on heads.
This match needs zombies. What?
Just zombies, pal.
I said zombies. Oh, my God. No, don't do this to me. Officially bailed in. What are you doing?
I'm just looking at the chat. Yeah, okay. I'm fine.
Now I'm going to talk about Paul Heyman's segment next because, again, Sami Zayn on Monday night was gold. I thought this was great. Paul Heyman's backstage with him, and he tells him,
You mean the man who's younger than Steve Austin?
That caught you off guard today. I can't believe that.
Good Lord almighty. Are you effing kidding me? I could have pegged Heyman as being 64, 65. He's been around forever. Then I realized he was taking pictures when he was like 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
At these wrestling shows with Bill Apter by his side.
And I think he got his big break in Memphis before he went to Crockett.
Who is that Shiksa? WCW. Who's that young Shiksa that was posing on a balcony with him on Twitter?
That's his fiance.
Wait a minute. Heyman's divorced?
I didn't know he was married, dude.
He was married. He's got kids.
Okay, you can do that. Maybe he can have 2 wives. I don't know. That's what he said. This is my fiance. I don't know what the hell was going on there.
What God almighty.
Thank you again, Denisha, for the super chat. We really appreciate it.
Yes, Denisha. Thank you so much. I hope she's out of high school.
But he
Not
tells
Denisha,
Sami,
I mean the fiance.
What in the fuck?
Jesus Christ, she's so young and he's so old. Good Lord.
Have you seen Bill Belichick's girlfriend in that god-awful interview they had? If you haven't, you need to watch that. You'll figure out what
Buddy,
old
that's
young
all
is.
kinds of shit in his family. His kids are all going crazy because of the girlfriend. The girlfriend's like cutting them off from everybody. I tell you what, that cooch must be like a velvet glove.
I'm not going down this road with you. I'm not going down this road with you.
What? The man who called The Rock a pedophile?
I did not call him that.
You said go back and hang out with your Hollywood pedophile friends. Play it back, pal.
I said friends. I said friends.
Come on now. And
Paul Heyman with Sami Zayn.
I said pedophile.
Paul Heyman with Sami Zayn. Dude, can we continue? Okay. Paul Heyman with Sami Zayn. And I thought this was a pretty good deal. He says, all we want you to do is leave and go to SmackDown, and we'll guarantee you get a title shot at whoever wins between Cena and Orton. We don't want you to go out there and face our guard dog. Because I guess that's what they're calling him now. Braun Breaker is now the guard dog for Sami Zayn, which I think is a great use for him.
He's an animal.
He is. We've talked about it for months on this, or a year now on the show, I guess. He's the next huge, big champion on the show. He's not overly big, but he's athletic as hell. He's strong as an ox. He looks the part, and he can cut a promo, and you believe everything he says because he's a Steiner. You believe everything he says. Now, I've got to eat some. I got to eat some crow here.
Braun Breaker's also the orangest man you've ever seen in your entire life.
He is really orange.
That's not a spray tan either.
I know.
Honest to God, tan from being in NXT all the time.
Why does he look like a tangerine?
Because he'd be out on the beach playing volleyball and football and shit, just laying out there with Cora Jade when they were going together.
I mean, he is orange. That's all I could say about him. I've got to eat crow now because Becky Lynch came out here and cut one of the best promos she's ever going to cut. She cut this thing like a knife. I thought this was great. She explained why she attacked Bayley, saying, that bitch has been beating on me for 6 years. You think I wasn't going to get my payback eventually? I thought this was great. And she said, the friends of my enemies are my friend. It also works the other way. The friends of my enemy are my enemy. And that's why I went out here and beat up on Valkyria. Valkyria came out. They did some business. I am now interested to see where this goes.
Valkyria is coming into her own as a promo.
She is fast.
She's a hell of a wrestler. She needs to wrestle with that hair down. Very good look for her. Very good looking girl.
She's growing so fast in leaps and bounds. It's kind of scary to see how fast she's taken on to what she's doing in the ring.
Our little girl's becoming a woman.
like this sometimes. No, but it's impressive to watch her. It really is. It's super impressive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Brother Fluff's here with a 5 spot. Oh, what are you doing? We're both clicking Fluff. Bron spray tan is mixed with Cheetos. Yes, it is. It's mixed with Cheetos.
I wouldn't doubt it. Thank you, Brother Fluff. We appreciate this 5 spot very much. Nick Aldis was with Penta, and he says, hold up, get it back up there. Give my man some love. He says, next week, you're going to get your match against JD Funko Pop, or whatever you want to call him. Jughead, that's what I'm going to call him. Well, we're going to get that.
Jughead McDonough.
I'm going to watch this match. I don't know what's going to happen with it, but I'm going to be interested in it because Penta's been putting on some really good, entertaining matches. They've slowed him down to the WWE style and said, don't do it all in 5 minutes. Right. Give it time, son.
Be special. He's special now in what he does. The little walk he does, a little strut. Everybody's picking up on that. And he did that. He did all his shit.
It's got machismo.
Yes. Every match he's had in AEW when he was there, he did everything. He piled it all in. He got all his shit in every single match. So you got tired of seeing it every week. They ran him every week until he said, I'm not going to resign. And whoosh,
I'm out of here.
He was out. Sitting in there eating catering, eating watermelon with Camille.
I'm really looking forward to when he gets his shot to get back with his brother and they form the tag team. I'm very excited to see if they can reinvigorate the WWE tag team scene because right now I'm just not feeling it. It's the same shit as it was under Vince. They do not put enough emphasis in the tag team division for my liking. And there was a time where they did. So I'd like to get back to that one day. Maybe it's just me. We get the Miro segment. And did you see Miro is using his old gimmick from AEW, which was really great. And I said, good. They never used it enough in AEW.
That's a gimmick. Shit. That's a gimmick he came up with. They all act like Tony Khan came up with that. That's a gimmick that Miro came up with, being the Redeemer.
I thought it was a good moment. I think I'm buying into this. I bought into it with AEW, so don't say I didn't. I was always pissed. We talked about it forever. Why is he not on my TV? I buy this. When he came out wearing a Kermit shirt or the freaking Mickey Mouse shirt or whatever it was, that's not who I want to see in a 280-pound Bulgarian. Give me a big badass that doesn't play video games but throws the machine at the guy across the arcade because he's a dork. Show me that guy. So I'm excited about this.
He's back where he needs to be.
Ivy versus the NXT champ Vacker was next. Vacker wins.
Definitely
good match.
Very
entertaining.
Good match. Mm-hmm.
We get an AJ segment where Dominic Mysterio interrupts. I thought, again, Dominic Mysterio, man, he's great.
Let me ask you this question.
Stephanie
Vacker, when she finally
gets moved up. You got to call her up.
When she finally gets moved up permanently, Raw or SmackDown?
Gotta go to SmackDown. There's too much loaded up on Raw. Gotta go to SmackDown. They need some fresh blood over there. Because who do they have over there? They got Tiffy Time. Nia Jax is doing something out in the ocean. I don't know where the hell she disappeared off to.
They're throwing harpoons at her.
I was going there, but I wasn't going to make it that openly obvious. Bottles.
Gotcha.
God, man.
You got Naomi, Charlotte.
Yeah.
Tiffy, Nia, Mia Yim. You've got Piper Niven. You got Chelsea Green. You've got Alba Fire. And
did you see how fast you ran out of names there that anybody gives a shit about?
Right out of names, pal.
Yeah,
Speaking of Charlotte Flair, where's Charlotte Flair been?
Charlotte Flair was at a Dodgers baseball game with her brother Shane and A-Rod in the background. And the rumor going around is that A-Rod,
not her brother Shane McMahon.
That's what I said. Her brother Shane. Oh, sorry, Shane McMahon. Sorry, I keep thinking they're related sometimes. Sorry, she's like family. You know how it is. I'm sorry. Forgive me. It's been a long day. Charlotte and Shane are blood relatives.
They try to make it seem like she came with
A-Rod. Yeah.
Yes. They try to make it seem like that, but I don't think that's the case.
You're not buying it at all.
I'm not buying that at all.
You're not buying this. Why?
No, I'm not buying it at all. I think they both have the same agent, and they were all put together there, and that she's trying to make a story out of it. No. She loves the attention. She was at Fort Worth last Friday for SmackDown Live, and they never used her on screen.
That's odd.
Why do you think it's odd?
Well,
She did
saying
beat the
it
shit
odd
out of
that-
the ladies champ
She
on
did.
SmackDown.
She
Legit in the ring. And
Was her
sandbagged her.
uncle? Was her uncle Bill Moskris there?
Bill Moskris? Yeah,
What's
he was there with his tag team partner, Al Dente.
So that's sort of a weird thing going around, but we'll move on. Karrion Kross finds Sami Zayn, gives him a look, and just walks by. Karrion Kross, ladies and gentlemen, where's this guy been? Put him on TV. I want to see this guy more.
Why don't they have this guy who can talk? He's got his wife is his valet, who's looks like $1 million. Why don't they have this guy take on Dominic Mysterio, or for the belt, or challenge Jey Uso? They're going with Logan Paul, obviously.
I agree.
I don't get any of this. I don't get why Cross doesn't have any kind of screen, any kind of time. 30 seconds
Well, he's
on
getting
Raw.
more and more. He's getting more.
He got 30 seconds on Raw. Pal. That's like
look, pal. I'll take it where I can get it because I like where this guy's going. Maddie says with Liv Away, which we're going to talk about that in a little bit. We're going to talk about that, Maddie. Raquel should become Dom's China. I can buy into that.
Yes.
It's been a long time since you had a bodybuilding heater out there. And Block Larry says, I like turtles.
I like turtles.
Oh, Larry, what's wrong with you sometimes, pal? We get the moment of the show.
Yes.
Thank you for the super chat, by the way. We get the moment of the show, Gunther recap by Pat McAfee segment, and he challenges Gunther. And here's my question to you, because I keep hearing about people crying about Pat McAfee getting this match. Do people not realize that Pat McAfee was actually trained by a professional wrestler? He can actually wrestle. He's got legit skills in the ring. He's not going to turn it on like Bret Hart, but he can go.
They don't remember years ago in the gold and black edition of NXT when you had the what were they? They were the Undisputed Era in NXT. It was Kyle, what's his name? Kyle O'Reilly. You had Roderick Strong. You had Bobby Fish, and you had Adam Cole. Those four guys. He was the manager, the mouthpiece for those guys. He was also a color commentator. And then he actually had a match when he fell out. Cole and him fell out. Cole became a face. He wrestled Adam Cole and acquitted himself fantastically. He was great.
Yeah. So the PLE's coming. Is it next weekend? I want to say.
I think it's in 2 weeks.
Is it in 2 weeks? Because it was 3 weeks from WrestleMania. I think it's next week, Bottles.
No.
Yeah, could y'all take a look at that real quick? Let us know before Bottles goes
right
surfing
now.
the internet and gets in trouble. All the nerds can whine about McAfee. F those fans. I agree, John. I don't understand why people are so against this. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, Sami Zayn at the end of the show comes out to answer Seth and says no. And then he gets speared 3 times in a row and gets whacked out of this thing. And the ref calls for the bell.
May 10th, Don. May 10th.
Next week.
Saturday, May 10th.
Next week, like I said. Called it.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you, John, very much for that. Hold on here. Isn't A-Rod J-Lo's ex-fiance?
Yes.
With the super chat? Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, because I need J-Lo to be my generation's Liz Taylor. She's so close to setting the mark. The divorces, all the failed marriages.
Who would leave J-Lo to hook up with Charlotte no-ass Flair? You've got all the ass in the world, and then you leave all the ass in the world to go to no ass whatsoever.
Change of scenery.
Change of scenery. He needed a change of scenery. So now he's banging Charlotte Flair.
I do want to talk about some issues that WWE is having right now in some markets.
What is that?
The ticket sales for SmackDown tomorrow night, they're still 2,000 short of selling 8,000.
Yes, they are.
This is not good. They're also having some problems with Raw in a couple of weeks. They're not selling out like they were. And here's the whole thing. They're being greedy bastards. They're getting every nickel out of fans that they possibly can. And eventually it's that diminishing returns, right? You're going to keep charging them to the point that they're not going to show up anymore and say, to hell with this. I'll have 5 beers on the couch and watch from home. I don't need to sit there so I can sit through your commercials. TKO has become a greedy corporation, and it's pissing me off as a fan because wrestling used to be for the everyman. They're charging $40,000 tickets to attend SummerSlam in front row.
That's
the shit's
a package.
Outrageous.
That is a package. I
don't care.
If you buy a ticket for SummerSlam front row, it's $2,039 is what it comes to. not counting fees and taxes and all that. But if you want the premium package, it's 40 grand.
Come on, Bottles.
You get
Don't
a belt.
act like that's not absurd.
You go back. Of course, it's absurd, but people are paying it. It's supply and demand. They supply it, and people are paying those prices.
I can't wait to see who these people are that bought this. I want to see who the mook is that paid $40,000 to attend a wrestling show so he could be in the middle of the front screen of the ring. Oh, yeah, and here's a belt, and you can meet Diesel backstage, and we'll send a limo for you.
Diesel. Meet Diesel backstage. Green Shirt Jones
he's there.
will do that.
Did you read it? He's literally the guy that
Kevin Nash. Yes.
Yeah, Diesel.
You have a meet and greet with Kevin Nash.
Be still, my beating heart.
Green Shirt Jones will be there. You know who that is. He'll be there.
He won't be there because he's getting his tickets because he got punched in the face by Punk. That's why he has his.
That's an urban legend. That was not the guy. That was not the guy. That was not the guy.
I'm going to show you the clip.
You can show me the clip all you want to. But unless that guy gained 100 pounds in just a few years, that's not the guy.
15 years ago, Bottles.
That's not him. It's not him. He's already said it's not him.
Okay. We'll see. Anyway, I just think it's outrageous, some of the ticket prices they got going on now. And they need to come back to just being a normal organization to charge regulars. Families should be able to go watch a wrestling show for around $300 and have a really good seat for 4 tickets. That's just my opinion. I don't think that's asking too much. $300 is it's not a terrible lot of money, but it's not a little bit of money either. You know what I mean?
They can wrestle
for regular fans.
They can wrestle every show in the Performance Center with those video screens behind them. And I'll sit home and eat and drink whatever I want, smoke whatever I want, and enjoy myself watching this show. And I won't worry about, we got to get out of here 10 minutes early so we can get out of the arena parking garage. It's just better sitting at home as far as I'm concerned. But I enjoy going to wrestling shows. I don't enjoy going to the SmackDown or Raw shows anymore because of all the commercial breaks. It's just nonstop and it's egregious. Well, it is what it is. They got to make money, pal. They got to make money.
Speaking of being it is what it is and making some money, Liv Morgan, ladies and gentlemen, is leaving the WWE for an extended period of time.
She's going to star in that cinematic masterpiece, Bad Lieutenant Tokyo.
So I did some research on this.
Yes.
This apparently has a cult following because there was an original Bad Lieutenant back in the early 90s. Did you see that?
There was 2. There's
been a few of them. Yeah.
There was one with Harvey Keitel in 92.
Yes, Harvey Keitel was the one that everybody loves.
And then in 2007, 2008, I believe it was Nicolas Cage, Bad Lieutenant New Orleans.
So this apparently has a a cult following. I don't know shit about it. I'm looking forward to seeing it, but here's what they're saying who's in it. Shun Oguzi or Uguri.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that guy from Apple Butter, but Lillian Jones or James, I think she was in Baby Driver and Iron Claw. She was the love interest of the main character of both those movies.
Lily James is someone's child that's famous. Who is Lily James?
I don't know. I'm just telling you what she's been in. So I wish Liv Morgan the best of luck, man. The girl's obviously worked her ass off. This is the big break she's been looking for. She's one of those that, you know what? I wouldn't be mad if she left. Good for her. You know what I mean? They said it's going to be an actual acting role. It's not going to be comedy or something like that. It's going to be a serious role. Good for her. I'm glad for her. I don't know how the diehards are going to feel. It also means she's dropping them tag titles here real soon, Bottles. Real soon.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had her confused with Lily Phillips. But that's a whole other thing altogether. I just found out. Jesus.
Is that the girl from Wilson Phillips?
No, that's the girl who made love to 100 guys in one day.
Oh, God, dude, what the shit, man?
Yeah.
Oh,
not good, pal. Not good.
Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button for enthralling information like that. Jesus. Super chat's open.
Liv is playing the part of some politician over there in Tokyo's daughter. She gets kidnapped. The Bad Lieutenant's got a gambling problem. He's got to go and
Hold on. Stop.
I got it right here. The thriller follows the Bad Lieutenant, a corrupt gambler in the Metropolitan Police Force, who finds himself thrown into a tangled case after an enigmatic FBI agent arrives in Tokyo to investigate the disappearance of a politician's daughter, played by Liv Morgan. Meanwhile, a deviant killer operating in the Yakuza underworld
Stop. Let me
seems
finish.
to be shadowing their moves.
She's gonna have to. She's gonna have to be the daughter of like a U.S. ambassador or something. Gonna have to. Otherwise, what the shit she doing in Tokyo?
Absolutely.
Little woman from Tokyo.
A little Deep Purple. Not waiting, everybody, with a little Deep Purple.
She's a politician's daughter in Tokyo. Oh God, this. Oh, please say it's a U.S. ambassador. This is going to fall apart at the wheels. Speaking of falling apart at the wheels, Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff and Izzy Martez are starting a freestyle wrestling company. Are you ready for this?
That's fantastic. Real American freestyle. They're going to push that beer left and right.
Dude, all American freestyle. What is freestyle graps? I have no idea what this could possibly be.
Olympic wrestling. Olympic freestyle wrestling is what it is. And they're going to have that. And they're all going to be drunk on real American beer because it's real American freestyle wrestling. He's got to push that beer, pal.
Why is that a thing?
Who knows? They made it seem like the little clip with him and Bischoff a couple days ago made it seem like there's going to be another promotion coming up, a podcast with somebody. Who's the third man? Who's the third man? And everyone was thinking, could it be Vince? Is it Vince McMahon? Is he? Well,
we thought it was going to. No, we thought it was going to be Conrad. We thought that he was going to have another podcast.
We thought it was going to be Conrad. Yes.
Yeah, because it makes the most sense. And then they said it's Izzy Martinez. And everybody
said, Izzy Martinez from Guns N' Roses.
Wrong Izzy.
Wrong Izzy?
He does not in fact play rhythm guitar. He does not. I want a bad Lieutenant movie where Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump goes around stomping heads in his titanium legs.
One leg is titanium, the other leg is a shotgun or a machine gun. Like, what was that movie? That zombie horrible. Movie?
The first time I saw Forrest Gump and Lieutenant Dan came to the wedding and introduced him to his fiance, and Forrest Gump said, Lieutenant Dan, I swear to God, I thought he was going to say, you're going to marry Charlie. I swear that came to my mind. The first thing I thought, I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. Because if you remember when they were when the movie started, we were always looking for this guy named Charlie. Sorry. That always tickles my fancy when I think about that scene, because that's the first thing I thought watching that movie in the theater. Oh, shit. Forrest Gump's going to screw this up right here.
Planet Terror was the movie where the chick had a machine gun leg. It was, what was her name?
Oh, yes.
She was on Charmed. Harvey Weinstein was banging her, and she got all upset about it.
Grindhouse.
Rose McGowan. Yes. Rose McGowan was.
Thank you, Brother Fluff, so very much.
We're going down a path in this podcast tonight.
Don Bottles, what had more impact in the 80s? David Von Erich dying or Magnum TA? And if they lived, how do you think the 90s would have been?
Magnum TA. He did live. Magnum TA is still alive. And he's just effed up. His whole left side of his body or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's a mess.
Is not functioning. He's a mess. He's getting around on a scooter now.
Thank you again, Brother Fluff. But to answer this question, I'm just going to cut right to it. Magnum TA's loss was much bigger. Look, David Von Erich, that was a big loss. I'm not saying it wasn't, but they weren't taking over the entire South like Crockett was at the time. Crockett was on a rocket ship. They had just lost Magnum TA in Mid-South Wrestling. Right. He went to Crockett Promotions, and that shit was on a trajectory from nowhere. It was going hard. He was going to be their answer to Hulk Hogan. He wasn't the most gifted wrestler, but he had the greatest. He had a great physique. He could cut a promo, and you believed everything he said. And that best of 7 series he had with Volkov is one of the all-time classics. Incredible.
And he had Dusty Rhodes as a tag team partner.
Yes.
Dusty Rhodes knew. He latched himself onto the biggest thing around.
Dusty Rhodes, pal.
And Magnum TA. Magnum TA looked like a cross between Sam Elliott and Tom, the guy who played Magnum on TV. Tom Selleck. I always thought he
was a cross between honest to God, this is no shit. Rick Rude. I always saw Rick Rude And really, Ric Flair and his physique, because they had very similar physiques. They weren't overly built, but they both had a good look. That's just
Yes. Magnum TA was he was not one of the guys who would shave his chest, and the women loved the hairy chest.
He was not going to.
They
Get
love
that
the
Bick out of here. Thank
Folks,
you
if
again,
you like our
Warrior Jimmy
content, please like and subscribe. Give us a little thumbs
Hit that
up.
subscribe.
Give us a little wriggling on the ding-a-ling down below, and it doesn't cost you anything. Just subscribe. Moving on.
Last piece of news I want to talk about real quick. Jeff Jarrett came out this week, which, by the way, where the hell did Jeff Jarrett go after all that bullshit they were doing on AEW, where it was going to be his time, he was going to get a shot at a title? Again, he's in the vacuum of where the hell did that guy go in AEW? He walked into the force, and he's never to be seen again.
Supposedly, it wasn't gelling with MJF. And they took him off the air because they had different plans for MJF. They would have sidelined him with the Hurt Business. So they cooled Jeff Jarrett down. Jeff Jarrett was actually getting cheered, which is strange, up against MJF. Right now, he's probably teaching Adam Copeland how to walk again.
I need you to figure out this leg goes first. So that's my news. We've got to get to this.
This titanium leg goes first.
Let's get down to it. Last night's AEW show was on, and they did 629,000 viewers. I wasn't one of them. I didn't watch till today. I saw enough of the clips on Twitter today to let me know, because here was my dilemma, Johnny Bottles.
What's that?
I was sitting on the couch yesterday, and my head was breaking. I was snapping at 7 o'clock. I said, you know what? I've got to make a mental health decision for myself as a person. Right. I've got to think of me tonight.
Sure.
Do I want to put myself through AEW Live and stay up until 10:30, or do I want to go upstairs and find something on Netflix maybe and fall asleep drifting off to the sounds of it? And I said, you know what? I'm going to go upstairs, and I think for my benefit, for my mental health, I'm going to skip AEW and watch the Ted Bundy tapes. I thought that was a safer call.
That's a good choice. It's either that or Where Are They Now? Adolf Hitler. Could have been that.
That was it. I mean, those were my choices last night. Yes. And I said the Ted Bundy tapes are a safer pick than watching this shit show last night.
Right.
And guess what? I was right.
You were right.
By the way, they did 3,794 tickets distributed for this show in Norfolk. Norfolk is starving for wrestling. Yes. The WWE has not been there in almost 2 years now. Did you realize that?
I did not realize that, but I can believe if they sold 3,700 tickets to a Dynamite.
Collision, by the way, let's talk about this real quick before we continue into AEW's Dynamite.
Well, Collision is just they're beating WWE with Collision now.
Collision did 700,000 views on Saturday night after the basketball game.
Right.
Here's what they're running around beating their chest. 700,000. We are back, baby. Bottles, they started with 1.6 million. Did everybody hear me out there?
1.67. Okay.
1.67 million. And they ended at 360,000.
Yes. In 15 minutes, they lost. Well, I'm not going to do the math. They lost 800,000 people in 15 minutes. It went down to 847,000. And then it was a nice steady slide.
All night, it was around 100,000 per 15 minutes that were getting the hell out of there.
Yes.
You lost 1.3 million people from your opening match to the last match. I probably wouldn't brag about that because the NBA's leaving TNT, and that baby's not going to be there to help you anymore. Them days are over. That's gone after this season.
Well, you don't have to worry about Collision because, the latest is it's getting bumped for some Avengers movie that's been rerun 1,000 times.
Which is the next thing we want to bring up. I'm glad you said it, is they have bumped Collision from Saturday night to Thursday, I believe, for a non-HBO Max Discovery, whatever the hell the name of that company is, owned entity that is Marvel, that is owned by Disney, their direct competitor. You're putting on a movie from Disney. You're not even going to put on your own HBO Max, whatever the hell it is, HBO Discovery Max bullshit. You're not going to put on your own DC movie. You're going to put on a Marvel movie. That's how bad it is right now at that company.
This is a test run, Don. This is a test run. This is a test run to see if Saturday nights could be a better movie night.
Oh, I see.
Bigger ratings, I think. This is what I think. I have no factual knowledge of anything. I'm just guessing. I've seen it a lot with TBS over the years and TNT. Whether a movie, a big movie, just rerun, can actually draw than an original program, and I think it will, because we're looking at AEW Collision. If they run that Avengers movie and it gets 800,000 views,
Collision,
it beats 365,000 that Collision would usually do. So it is what it is. It's smart business practices. Collision will be a thing of the past by the end of this year, I predict.
You think so? That's a bold statement. That's a bold statement. Okay,
I'm a bold man. I'm a bold man, Don, fueled by alcohol and weed. That's how I formulate my opinions.
AEW Dynamite starts off with an 8-man tag team consisting of Briscoe, Kevin Knight,
Did you say
Mike
Frisco?
Bailey. No. Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, Kenny Omega versus Ping Pong, the Young Bucks, and Okada. And I said, nope, I'm going to fast forward through this bullshit. I've already seen, by the way, in the middle of this match, they decided to do the dumbest missed elbow drop segment you've ever seen in your life and went to the overhead camera like it was a good idea. Let's watch everybody blatantly miss dropping elbows on each other and show everybody sitting on the apron on the outside of the ring waiting for their turn to come in and miss it. It looked hokey, corny, and awful, and I couldn't believe that was the shot that somebody in the truck said, give me the one overhead. And they stayed there. They stayed on that shitty view.
It was horrendous, Don.
Did you see when Ricochet came off the top rope to drop down both feet on Okada's arm? And before he got there, Okada snatched his arm in and sold it. It was so bad. Horrible. It was so bad you could see it. They cut the camera immediately because you could see it that bad. It was just that bad. And it got worse. It just got worse as this thing went on. Why do people watch this? I don't get it, man.
They do whatever they want to do in the ring. They do whatever they want to do. And people are probably telling them backstage, maybe it might be a good idea, don't do that. They go out and do it anyway. And the guy who owns the company just, this is great. This is the greatest night. The announcer, this is the greatest night in the history of our sport.
Did you see the 4-way spot where all the faces were sitting on inside the ring, looking down at their heels? They each had a corner of the ring, and they all dove on their opponent at the same time.
Yes, they do that a lot in this company. They do.
Yeah, but that was egregiously bad, Bottles. That was egregiously bad. It was so horrible.
I like the other spot they do in this company where you're beating the hell out of a guy in the corner, and then you point to the opposite turnbuckle, and you run to the opposite turnbuckle, and then you run and jam your ass or your knee, and the guy's laying down in the corner. Just keep on beating the shit out of the guy in the corner. Right, I'm going to go over there and give him time to breathe and run back over and kick his ass again. I just don't understand any of this. And
I wanted to ask you this.
They act like it's great. They act like it's great.
Did you see all of the missed kicks and punches from everybody? And Okada was like the worst one out of the whole group. He was missing shit left and right, man. He was punching air. He was airboxing.
He's getting paid millions of dollars a year to not do anything at all. And he's just sleepwalking his way through this shit. He just can't believe it. He's like having babies over in Japan, sleepwalking his way through this bullshit in AEW. He's not killing himself doing the strong style that he used to do in Japan, where they would really lay in the elbows and the forearms in the middle of the ring. This is just bullshit to Okada. He's like he's on vacation for 4 years. Give him a break.
And then the coup de grace, the cherry on top of this shit pile, was the tombstone 4-way off the top rope move at the end of the show to close this turn of the Punch Bowl segment. Go bye-bye. This thing was a convoluted mess. Okada's team won. Briscoe took the fall. I said, I never want to see that. I've had enough of Mike Bailey already. I've had enough. Get rid of the Karate Kid.
He's horrendous. He's horrendous. If he was anything, he would have been a big name in TNA. But he was never a big name in TNA. He was just Speedball Mike Bailey. Puts on a good match from time to time. Speedball Mike Bailey. Speedball Mike Bailey. He's a cross between the Karate Kid and Billy Ray Cyrus. Speedball Mike Bailey.
Janisha gave $10, so she's giving you some love.
Don, Rampage is gone. Collision's next. Believe in Bottles, Don. You believe in Johnny Bottles.
I believe in John Bottles.
Say his name and he'll appear.
Like a nightmare in a tree.
A Nightmare in a Tree.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Never heard that song?
No, I never heard that.
Because I haven't wrote it yet, bitch.
Where is he?
Say his name and he appears. I believe in
Johnny Bottles.
That's right. Believe in Johnny Bottles.
Have not seen that in a while. Good callback.
Thank you, Mike
Thank
Digital.
you all for Thank you, Mike Digital, wherever you are right now. But it's my favorite one ever. My favorite one ever. Thank you all for watching, by the way. Please like and subscribe. We appreciate the support.
Yes.
Really, we do. Thank you for the super chats. Oh, backstage. This is when I got really upset because you're messing with my boys to hurt people. You're messing with my boys. This was hokey and very 80s. There's a group. I want to describe this to everybody that didn't see this shit. There's a group of guys standing in the backstage where all of the cameras and the rigging and all the equipment is. And there's like 5 guys chanting, "We hurt people." There's no one else there. They're not fans. This doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. This doesn't connect in any way.
You would think 5 fans snuck backstage.
Just wandered in like hobos up backstage. Exactly.
But they weren't fans that were fat and slovenly and smelling bad with greasy
you
hair.
can tell they were wrestlers.
You could tell they were wrestlers. I like how the one got the long blonde dreadlocks. Like he didn't know where to go. Bobby Lashley was just having his way with him.
He was confused as shit,
He didn't know where to go. Bobby just, if you ever want to see a human being, 180-pound, 6-foot human being get manhandled, thrown around where he doesn't want to go, just watch this brief backstage segment. Lashley grabbed him and put those meat hooks on this board.
Snatched his ass up.
Yes, he did. Flung him from pillar to post. And it was glorious.
Yes, Block Larry, thank you. All hail
Johnny Fingertips.
This segment was hokey, awful, and I hated the entire thing. Mark K, what's up, pal? At this point, it's more entertaining to watch TK snort an 8-ball, good God, than watch Speedball wrestle.
Yeah, I'd love to see TK snort an 8-ball. I'd love to see that. That should be on pay-per-view.
Good God. Allegedly.
I'd love to see him snort an 8-ball and read something out of, I don't know,
Shakespeare in Love. Where art hither, thou osprey? Anyway, I'm going to keep going to this because the Ops versus Jobbers, I said I'm not watching this.
The who?
The fast forward button, the Ops. The Ops versus the Jobbers.
Buddy, I watched
you knew
that
where this
match.
was going. I'm not watching this shit.
It was horrendous. It was a jobber match that should have been over in 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mark.
Samoa Joe, Hobbs, and Shibata should have had their way with those 3 guys and beat the piss out of them, and it would have been over and done with in 3 minutes. And that's what you do. When they're wrestling bums, you don't stretch it out for 20 minutes. They're wrestling bums, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, that's the max. Boom, you're done. That's it. It's over.
Yeah.
And then have the Death Riders roll in.
The Cracker Clan comes in at the end, which you knew it was going to happen. And they end up jumping on.
Plumber McGee came in with the crew.
So this whole thing got out of control. Samoa Joe gets on the microphone. He's gassed. He cannot talk. He's so gassed.
He was trying to talk to Moxley, but Moxley, they're just walking up the steps.
Just gone.
Just gone. Never even turned around to see what he had to say. They were just out.
He goes, hey, Mox.
He probably couldn't believe that Moxley didn't turn around to see what he had to say.
I thought he was running a 900 number for a minute there. A lot of heavy petting coming out of that microphone.
1-900 choke it out.
I couldn't believe where that went. They're having a cage match apparently now because I guess when you're Samoa Joe, you can make your own matches. I don't understand it. It's going to be a cage match, Moxley.
Who can make the matches? Samoa Joe, Tony Schiavone, those guys?
I guess anybody who decides they're going to make a match can make a match. That's the rule here.
Well, they tried having a regular
Samoa
match.
Joe.
What's that? What'd you just say? I didn't hear you.
1-900 Samoa Joe. If you want some heavy petting.
Box.
Cage match.
Box.
Cage match.
He's the Applebee's heavyweight champion, Jon Moxley. Can't wait to get that Applebee's belt.
I knew after this, this was no recovering from this. I knew there was no coming back from this.
They should call, instead of the ops, they should be called the apps. For the wrestle for the Applebee's heavyweight championship that Jon Moxley holds.
Next was your favorite segment. You told me was Mercedes was with Renee Baguette.
Oh, she's fantastic. The Cardi B of professional wrestling. Mercedes.
I've got to ask you, man. What was this supposed to be? Because it didn't come off to me as being anything. It was just it wasn't. I don't even know how to describe this. It wasn't pointed is the best way that I could put it. It ran in circles and went nowhere fast.
This was Mercedes Moné massaging her ego again, is what this was. That's all it is. And this is why people hate her. They say, I said it on Twitter, I'll say it on live, the best wrestling gimmicks is your own personality cranked up to 11. And this is what she is. She's a conceited, stuck-up bitch that buries everybody because she thinks she's the Charlotte Flair. She's turned into the Charlotte Flair of AEW. Now, I said online that Queen of the Ring movie that came out that received virtually
I want you to talk about this.
It received virtually no publicity on AEW television. No pub whatsoever because the people that were in the movie, Toni Storm was in the movie. You can't bury Toni Storm because at the time she was the champ. She was the AEW Women's Heavyweight Champion, and she is now. But at that time, she was also, again, the AEW Heavyweight Champion. And then you had Britt Baker is also in Queen of the Ring. If you blink, you'll miss her, but she's in the movie. And Camille was picked to be in the movie. And she's
one of the main villains.
She was the heater. Yes, she was the heater. She plays June Byers, which was the antagonist with I forgot the Queen of the Rings character, but Mildred Burke.
Tammy Faye Baker.
Camille was the heater for Mercedes Moné.
Yes,
and Mercedes Moné probably got her panties in a bunch because they picked her and not me. You know she tried out for it. You know she tried out for that movie. Liv Morgan and Charlotte Flair tried out for that movie.
I know. I think the parts,
and Vince said, you're not doing it. So they went to AEW.
I think you're onto something there because both those girls disappeared real fast after that movie came out, and you ain't seen or heard from them since. There's a lot of smoke to that fire. I think you're onto something. But to close out the Renee Moxley good moment, she's talking about Jamie Hayter, and her closing line was, "Why do you have a Scooby-Doo style?"
She probably thought
that's as bad as Roman Reigns saying "suffering succotash." That's how bad that is.
You know how I felt after that segment? You know how I felt? That's how I felt. That's how I felt after that segment. I looked at my TV with disdain.
Next, we have Renee with the patriarchy. And Cage starts talking when Jay Lethal from 2 feet away just steps in. You're going to pretend like you can't see this guy a foot off camera? Why do they do this corny shit, man? Well, it'd be one thing if he's walking down the hallway yelling, "Hey, I got something to say to you, patriarchy." But no, he just slides in like a pervert in your DMs on a Friday morning.
He's not a tall man.
He is not.
Maybe he was out. He was under their line of sight. That's what it was.
I was waiting for Renee Baguette to get
Mercedes. The Mr. Sacco treatment.
Yeah, exactly. That was so, it just didn't go anywhere, Mark. I still don't get this. So in comes Jay Lethal and says, "I'm challenging you tonight for a title." And Christian Cage says, "Okay, he's going to defend it."
They're trying to make something out of Nick Wayne. They're trying to make something out of the kid. I don't know why. They're trying to make something out of him. I mean, if he's a kid who's in need of a performance center. He really is. I could see him going to NXT. For some reason, they signed him, and it is what it is. It is what it is. However,
thank you again, Park, but I got to throw this up real quick.
Yeah. Why would Monet try for Mildred Burke? She's not white. I'm not saying she was tried out for Mildred Burke.
She just wanted to be in the movie.
Wanted to be in the movie as one of the opponents of Mildred Burke in the movie. That's
because I can't wait. And I've been waiting on this movie to come out on Amazon now for a month. It needs to come out soon because I want to watch it. Because from what I've read about, Mildred Burke was very big on using African Americans in her wrestling promotions.
Yeah.
She was very high on that. She was a groundbreaker in that way.
Yeah, she was.
Maybe she was looking to use one of because they're in there. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait. So anyway, moving on with the show. Mio Yamashita, whatever the hell this chick's name was, versus Toni Storm. And I said, I'm not watching this, and I don't give a shit. And then Mercedes comes out at the end of it. It's like, okay, so we're going to get this. And then out comes Hayter, who intercepts Mercedes, who runs off in high heels, and she gives no chase.
Do you get a Scooby-Doo vibe from Hayter?
I did in that outfit. I really did. I was like, okay, I get where she was going with that, but that's just, I get more of a 70s corner hooker feel. That's just how I see it.
Like she's on an episode of Beretta, just hanging out in the corner. Robert Blake rolls up in a duster. Cigarette behind his ear. Where's Huggy Bear? That's Starsky and Hutch.
Really? We're going there now?
I don't know, pal. I don't know.
Up on 110th Street. That's what I feel when I see.
Did we fly by the Nick Wayne match? Because I certainly did last night when I was watching this.
Well, we haven't gotten there yet.
His music, by the way, is horrendous.
I didn't pay attention to his music.
It's hard because it's like.
I wanted to ask you this.
Go ahead.
Did you notice the microphone issues in the last two segments that we just talked about? Because when Mercedes came out and started talking, you could barely make out what she was saying.
Exactly. Yes. They must have hired, I don't know who he hired as the live techs for these TV shows. The audio technicians. I don't know who he hired. Must have been from the Jacksonville School for the Deaf. That's who he hired. Have these kids come in. I don't know.
Across 110th Street, pimps trying to catch a hooker so cheap. If you don't know 110th Street, do yourselves a favor, kids. Look it up. It's one of the badass songs you're ever going to hear. It is awesome.
Who's it by?
Oh, shit. I don't know who it's by. Bobby Womack.
Bobby Womack. The great Bobby Womack.
Check it out. Anyway, we had that match. That happened. The mic is way too long. Then we get Don Fletcher and a Don Callis segment. Or Kyle Fletcher, not Don.
Don Fletcher. Kyle's brother Don's here, everybody. Don Fletcher.
I don't understand what they're doing with this guy, and I don't care because out comes the Hurt Syndicate.
He's the proto-star.
Why is that a thing? Why is that a name? They're ripping off that John Cena when he was in Ring of Honor. When he was the prototype.
Ring of Honor.
Complete knockoff.
OVW.
Sorry.
He was the
Look,
prototype.
Pal, I don't watch that bullshit either way. I knew he was one of them crappy organizations, and I do not give a damn.
Right.
But I
didn't watch it either. I'm just saying.
Okay. Well, you know what? You
fact
check me. You fact check me.
I'm fact checking anybody.
You fact check me and see what happens.
Hey, I'm just being cordial. That's all. He said, Bottles, you got to bring the energy, Bottles.
I'm sorry, but the Proto Star is a terrible name, dude. I'm sorry.
It's a horrible name.
It's god awful.
Horrible name. It sounds like a freaking cheap ass Nintendo game from 1992. The Proto Star.
Anyway, Hurt Syndicate comes out and MJF comes out, and I said, I'm going to fast forward this because it's the same shit every week. I want to get to the part where they either accept him or they don't. And the best part of this entire segment came at the end when MJF called him a bald son of a bitch, I thought it was the best part of the segment. They got into it, but here's my issue, Bottles. Why did MJF come off looking like a pussy boy, cowering in the corner instead of bowing up?
Because they're showing that Bobby Lashley is the guy. Bobby Lashley's the man. He's a badass. They got a Bob chant going. Can you believe that shit? But Lashley did grab that boy and jack him up in the corner. He got a hold of his face. They turned up the microphone in the corner on the camera so you could hear what Bobby Lashley was saying. The house probably couldn't hear it, but
Pablo says, with Hater, I get the Deuce Hooker 70s Times Square show.
It's like he put all the concepts together.
He certainly did.
Put all the concepts.
He brought it all home.
That 70s
110th Street.
That 70s hoe. That could be the name of her TV show. That 70s hooker.
I'm convinced I was not
that 70s TJ Hooker. Go ahead.
I should have been an adult in the 70s. I think I missed my era. I really do.
The 70s.
I love all the music. I love all the cars. I love everything about that era. It was the bomb. Anyway, Nick Wayne versus Jay freaking Lethal. And I said, I got no need to watch this. I'm going to fast forward this. Guess who won?
Nick Wayne.
Yes. And then they had Hangman Page versus Kyle Fletcher. It's a half-hour match. I said, not on my time. It's not.
No.
Fast forward to the end. No. Guess who won?
Hangman Page.
Of course he did.
That match, it wasn't a bad match. It could have been a nice 12-minute match. Instead, they stretch it out to a half hour, like they do with most things on this show. They stretch things out too.
Dumbass spot outside the ring with the tombstone, and that didn't end the match. That didn't end the match. The tombstone outside of the ring. No, we got to go another 15 minutes.
The tombstone pile driver is a transition move in AEW. You don't realize that?
Apparently, everything is. But I could beat your ass with a small package. I'll beat your ass with a small
everything
package.
is. They're all transition moves.
Do you realize they've gotten away from the Canadian Destroyers? Have you noticed that? Like, that's almost gone now.
Because they're doing them in WWE now, and they're selling them. Penta uses that all the time, the Canadian Destroyer. They call it the Mexican Destroyer.
You get your ethnicity straight, pal.
Straight, pal.
I'll put a tariff on you.
Ray Phoenix hit him with the tariff. The Tijuana tariff.
They make a move called the tariff. I swear to God.
The Tijuana tariff.
I need this. WWE, please have a villain come from Canada and call him the tariff. I need this.
This company, they've got something with Hangman Page. They've got something with Will Ospreay, and MJF, but they don't know what to do with them. Your five biggest stars on the men's side in this company should be Will Ospreay, Hangman Page, MJF, Samoa Joe, and Bobby Lashley. Those are the guys that should be in the championship hunt. You got those five guys. Figure out a way to put them up against Moxley. Take that belt away from Moxley. I think Moxley's going with Joe. Joe's going to win the belt from Moxley. What are you doing? You landed planes? What are you doing?
I got some shit going on over here.
You flagging down cars? What do you got a drive-through window with the magic windows? There you go. What we got?
There it is. Yes.
I need a Canadian with a finisher called the tariff stat.
See how good? It's right here. They're not jumping all over this. It's right here.
Yes.
They used the American Gulf. That was a great move.
Yeah.
Pissed a lot of people off with that.
Holy shit. Here comes Natalya with the tariff. She's tapping out. That girl's tapping out.
There's gold there. By the way.
Speaking of Natalya, Natalya's in the NWA. Have you seen that?
I have not.
Natalya is wrestling for the NWA women's title.
Is she
on
really?
NWA pay-per-view? Yes, she is. I think they're going to have a working agreement with Billy Corgan and the NWA, which could be pretty dicey because if you see some of those NWA male wrestlers, good Lord, dude. You got Haystacks O'Brien over there. Some big boys.
I see you, Mark K. I'm going to you in a minute, pal. By the way,
got some big boys there.
Larry, since you're still up on the screen, I want you to know something. Tomorrow's my birthday, and I got my birthday present. Like that?
Is that the AEW title? Oh, it's a T.
That is the
There you
Tennessee Volunteers world title. You can't get this, Larry. Thank you.
go. Did you buy yourself a bottle of that nice Buffalo Trace?
I didn't buy that. I didn't know they
son
had
of
no
a
Buffalo
bitch.
Trace.
You
They
son
didn't
of a
have it.
bitch.
The wife bought
No?
me the belt. Eat your heart out, Larry.
Damn.
Mark K, I got 99 finishers, but a pin ain't one. Hit me. I love it. This shit show last night. I'm so glad I watched the Ted Bundy tapes instead. I didn't have any nightmares because of that. I think I'd have had some last night watching this godforsaken thing.
I watched a half hour of it, Don, and I tapped out at 8:30 after that 8-man tag match, and then I proceeded to watch two cats have sex in the bushes outside of my house. It was quite a symphony.
They made the same noise as the ring.
It sounded like a Katy Perry concert going on in the bushes behind my house with these two cats having sex.
By the
That was
way,
it.
there's one other news of tidbit I want to hit on.
What's that, Don?
SmackDown moves back to 2 hours, rumored to be June 6th officially.
Good. They should be.
Happy birthday, brother. Thank you. You can have dinner. That's just Tiger Man.
Tiger
I
Man.
hear you. I hear you. But
I got
Thank
some
you
quick
very
news
much. I
nuggets, Don,
appreciate
if you're interested.
what's a nugget? It's what's left
Um,
over with the chicken. Oh,
a-
yeah. I'll be here
it's
all
a-
week. Tip your waitress.
There's a WWE couple that's going to have a nugget soon. The lovely
Oh,
Carmella.
you told me about this. Yes.
The lovely Carmella has been soiled once again by Corey Graves' seed, and they're going to have their second child. Carmella, who bitched and bitched and bitched about how they wouldn't re-sign her. She would have come back so badly, and now she's getting ready to spit out another kid.
Right. Like, why do you think that they don't talk to Corey about this kind of shit? Like, why would we resign her if we know you're going to start a family? That doesn't make any sense for us.
Well, at the time, they probably weren't going to start the family. This is like, what, 4 months ago? Now, all of a sudden, she's knocked up.
Yeah, 4 months. They just now decided. Right. Okay.
Can you imagine if they would have hired her, re-signed her, and knowing that without them knowing that she was pregnant?
Right.
All of a sudden, she's doing
dude.
she's doing the Maria Kanellis deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Get signed,
I
get
get
knocked
signed,
up.
then I get
Yeah.
pregnant. Yeah.
Right. Go to college while you're pregnant, get your degree. Joe Hendry was not the original. Joe Hendry was not the original pick to be Randy Orton's opponent at WrestleMania. Did you know that? You know who they
I
pitched?
did not.
You know who they pitched?
D. Snyder?
No. Pick somebody from the last 20 years in WWE who's not signed to WWE right now. Somebody in the last 20 years was a big star who could have been his opponent. Big star and still active today, but not in WWE.
Big star still.
That should have
What
been a
company
clue.
is he in?
I can't tell you. That would give it away.
I
But
don't
you know,
think there are-
there's two other companies that are big and just cycle through the WWE guys.
Bob Holly.
Bob
Thanks,
Spark
Mark
Plug
Day.
Holly, hardcore Holly. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see him come back just to slap the shit out of somebody. Jeff Hardy was the pick.
Oh my God! Thank God that didn't happen.
Randy
Did
Orton
you see-
put the kibosh on that. He said, "No, we're not doing
Did
it."
you see Jeff Hardy at the Pirates game last night?
No, was he intoxicated?
It went right over the rail from the second balcony. Larry pointed out. He's like, "That's Jeff Hardy."
That was a guy. Yeah, is that guy alive? All kidding
He's in critical
aside, did he make
condition.
it? That's
He's
not
in
good.
critical condition.
He landed with no shirt on and one shoe. Jesus Christ.
Right,
Guys, when you go to a ball game, don't drink 10 beers while you're sitting there. He like leaped up to react to the play. And his
I don't even know
momentum-
what he was reacting to, man. Like the play had happened 10 seconds prior.
The momentum carried him over the freaking rail, and he fell 20-some feet. Pablo, the real one. Was she knocked up while Graves was on NXT? She got knocked up when
Ooh.
Graves was on NXT, yes.
I think so.
Because she's showing in the picture I'm looking at, but you could, you know.
I
The mileage may
I don't
vary.
buy into all of this. Oh God, they didn't want to re-sign me, and I so wanted to come back. I don't care. You didn't move the needle then. You're not going to move it now. I don't care.
Speaking of not moving the needle, Samantha Irvin.
Thank you,
who used
Pablo.
Samantha Irvin used to be the ring announcer for WWE. And she's she's Mrs. Ricochet. She's trying a failed singing career. Failed meaning She can't get any traction on Spotify.
Hold on now. I want to talk about this in depth. I want to go into this. I don't want to just run it out there. She's got a video out there that she just released that she's complaining and saying it's getting shadow banned.
Yes, you read my mind, Don. She's being shadow banned on YouTube. Now, we know a little something about being shadow banned on YouTube. So,
bunch of
go ahead.
If you put the song in the title, it literally takes you to her page and tells you to subscribe. And the song is like a clip down. You just got to go into her page and see it. It's not banned. They're actually doing her a favor to try to get her people to subscribe to the shit. By the way, do you want to know why? And I like Samantha Irving. I have nothing against her, right? She's never done anything to me. But if you're going to tell me she's a professional singer, I will sell you some oceanfront property in Arizona right now because I've heard the song.
I've heard the song too, Don. She plays the flute on this song too.
Skin flute?
No, not the skin flute. While she's playing the flute, Ricochet's he's laying in the corner.
Whoa!
He's laying in the corner. He's 2 knuckles deep, Don.
Okay, stop. See, I knew you were going
there. That's
there.
all I'm going to say.
You didn't believe me. You didn't believe me.
Oh, I haven't seen it. I don't want to see that video.
You're not going to see it. You just got to take my word for it.
I don't want to see that at all. Have you heard about the roast of WrestleMania?
Go back to this. Stop. Go back to this. I want to talk about this for a second.
We're giving Samantha Irvin more news than she's actually worth. Go ahead, pal.
There's a reason she wants you to see this video so badly. It's not because of the quality of the song in any way, shape, or form. It's because she's shaking her ass throughout the entirety of the video. That's what she's selling is the sex.
Do you think?
Knows she's not a world. I'm just telling you.
Do you think?
Happening.
I'm looking at it right now.
What's happening?
I'm looking at it right now.
They maybe haven't. I'm trying to explain it.
She looks like she's got 2 strange armadillos trying to navigate their way past a thong. That's what it looks like.
All I know is I went to the video for about 5 seconds. I was like, okay, now I see why she wants you to look at the video. It is not because she sings like Whitney Houston. That's for damn sure.
Did Sherry come out and say, "What the hell are you looking at?"
No. Why would she do that?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'm sorry. Look, Samantha Irvin is a very attractive young lady, but she cannot sing. And I think she blew a really good opportunity she had in the WWE because she feels like she should be a superstar. And here's what I want to talk to you about. Too many people leave wrestling because they think they have these other sources of income. They think they're mega talented in other avenues of life. You're not. This is what you're good at.
Look, I'm telling you right now, he's probably getting paid over at AEW more, double. He's probably getting her paycheck and his paycheck from WWE. Plus,
what are you talking about? I'm talking about
Ricochet. I'm talking about Ricochet. Ricochet's married to Samantha Irvin, and she doesn't have to work. He's probably getting like $1.5 million a year, which is more than what he got paid and she got paid together in WWE.
I'm not disagreeing with you on this. What I'm saying is, look, Lillian Garcia is a prime example. She said, I'm going to go do my singing career. How'd that work out?
It didn't work out at all.
Okay.
Didn't work out at all.
My point. How many of these people are going to leave wrestling to try to another revenue source and it never works out? There are few and far between that actually look out. Roddy Piper, I feel, could have kept acting. He wanted to come back to wrestling because They Live. What's the name of the movie? Was They Live?
They Live.
That's a great movie. He was amazing in it.
Unfortunately, he followed it up with Hell Comes to Frogtown.
Yes.
Which was a horrible movie.
I hope he fired his agent.
They did a pilot. Him and Jesse Ventura did a pilot. They were ex-professional wrestlers that became
What was his name?
It was called Tag Team. What was his name? Ace McCloud. They did Ace McCloud. No, there was a
Let's it up, you maggots.
It's a pilot for ABC television called Tag Team. And they were ex-professional wrestlers as police detectives. And they were doing like clotheslines and freaking atomic drops on guys and shit like that. I wish I was on YouTube. I saw it years and years and years ago when I was a wee lad. I wish I was on YouTube right now. Should we take a look at allegedly Paul Heyman's fiance?
Sure, why not? Because this is eating at you, and I have no idea why.
I'm fascinated by this. I'm
I
fascinated
don't know
by
why.
I'm fascinated by the fact that the man is actually younger than Stone Cold Steve Austin. He looks like he's 10 years older.
This is eating your lunch, and I don't know why.
It is. I just can't believe it. They can't.
Does anybody know who she is? If you do, throw it up in the chat. We'll put it up there real quick. I have no idea who she is. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. Let him be happy. Good
She
for
is
him.
Daniela Chavez. Daniela Chavez.
Who is Daniela Chavez?
Who's on first?
No, I'm gonna tell you right now because I'm gonna look this up right now.
You look that up.
I don't know that even. She's a Chilean model and a personality born in 85 in Santiago, Chile. She gained prominence after being named Playboy Mexico's Christmas, so she's a former Playmate. There you go, Bottles.
She moved pretty well in that video, considering she's got a shattered pelvis.
I'm just saying. I want to thank everybody for watching tonight. Please like and subscribe. Hit the notifications button on the YouTube algorithm.
I want to ask you one more thing. The roast of WrestleMania. The roast of
WrestleMania. Dude. Okay, I'm glad you brought this up. Have you seen how they are coming after your ass if you leak that?
Have you seen that Sean Ross Sapp had the audio of the roast of WrestleMania? The entire
and tried to charge you for it.
He had it on the Fightful website. You pay $5 as a member. You get to hear the entire 2.5 hour audio clips of that roast of WrestleMania. I think it got shut down.
It did get shut down.
They made him take it down.
They began coming after anybody that had any piece of that audio because it was a private gathering and cell phones were strictly prohibited. You were not to use them. So if you want to be a dumbass and throw that up there, prepare to get a lawsuit because I'm very sure it's a cease and desist or we'll sue your ass moment.
Have you heard that Ricochet says that WWE ruined his love? And
I
passion
don't
for
want to
pro
talk
wrestling?
about this guy anymore. He's a hack. He's a hack. I've read all his bullshit all week. He's farming for engagement. He wants everybody to engage him. He came after heel Uzi. He's so upset with the internet right now. I don't want to talk about this clown.
He came after heel Uzi?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, I mean,
heel Uzi's making a lot of friends. He's making a lot of friends on the AEW side of things.
Shout out to Heel Uzi's, my buddy.
Heel Uzi. Good guy. Good guy. He just calls it the way he sees it.
I want to thank everybody for watching. Please hit that like, subscribe button, hit that notifications button. You guys have a great day. I know somebody that didn't like AEW last night. We're not alone.
Who could that be?
Until next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.
It's my birthday, bitch.